Hey guys, what's up everyone? Welcome or welcome back again to another video tutorial lesson from the Apex Predator Billiards Training Club. My name is Apex Elenio, your aspiring professional pool player and pool instructor. Now of course in today's video tutorial I'm going to be walking you through one of my favorite shot making ball pocketing drill. This particular drill is known as the shooter's drill, where we put an object ball on the spot and we shoot the object ball into either of the corner pockets from each of the diamonds that are on the short rail and also on the side rail. Of course, this particular drill was exposed to me through a YouTube channel by world champion Niels Fine, and I definitely appreciated the very exact day when I saw this drill. I really believe that this drill would have improved my shot making, but of course I'm not remaking the video. I'm therefore by extension extending the system, where I'm going to be looking at using fractional ball aiming as well as cut angles to even be more precise when it comes to pocketing these object balls. So of course, as you'll see here on screen, where I'm placing the object balls from, well, I'm using the object balls as an example of where I'm going to be shooting the cue ball from, and I am going to be setting up my shot, and I'm going to be discussing with you the cut angles and how you can adjust your aim to be more accurate. Of course, I'm not going to be cutting out any of my misses. I'm going to be showing you both my success and my failures, and of course we're going to be walking you through possible justifications of why I may have missed the shot as well as why I would have made the shot more successful. So of course, if this is the first time here on the channel, do not forget to smash that subscribe button below, turn on your post notification bell, leave some positive questions and comments, and of course do not forget to share this video out. Oh, do not forget to smash the like button. It does help the channel to grow. So let's get right into it right now, and we're just gonna see how exactly this drill will work out for us. Of course, our previous video was done on the channel as it relates to this from a 9-foot table, so check the link in the description and also in the cards. We're gonna jump right into this particular lesson, so let's get it, let's go. Alright guys, so let me walk you through the exact setup for this particular drill. I am going to be placing my cue ball about a ball width away from the short rail, and my object ball will always be exactly on the spot into this half of the table. And so the objective, of course, is to put the object ball into one or both of the corner pockets if possible, based on the cut angle. Now of course, for this particular first attempt here, this particular cut angle is an approximate 45-degree cut. And from my previous tutorials that I've showed you on 45-degree cut angles, which you'll find a link in the description and of course right here in the cards, you'll learn, or you would have learned, that you are going to be aiming the center of your cue ball towards or just towards the outside edge of the object ball. Now once you can use this as a point of reference, you're going to find a lot of consistency when it comes to putting that particular 45-degree cut shot. Alright, now of course I'm going to be aiming to put the object ball into the other corner, because this helps to train the left side and the right side of your brain. Now of course, you're not always going to be successful in the consistency of the putt, but that is why we do the drill. It helps to give us a point of reference. Now for this particular attempt, you will see where the cut has missed almost by a diamond, and that obviously I can safely say would have been sometimes when you are too focused on where you're aiming, the contact spot sometimes tend to vanish away, and you have to kind of refocus. Now with such a miss like that, of course that's not very good. You want to miss on the pro side where you're going to be overcutting, but you never want to have to pot this object ball and you're going to be missing on the unprofessional side where you can sell out the game. So we're gonna go down, of course, and give this another attempt, and we're gonna try to get a little bit better, and that was a much more successful attempt. Now you'll notice here that in my delivery, which is not recommended, once I deliver my cue, you'll see where I let go of my shooting, well, not my shooting arm, I let go of the arm that balances my cue. And for me personally, whenever I do that, that sends a message to me that I'm a little bit unsure about my potting angle. You never want to have a cut like that where you're releasing the arm that keeps your cue stable for the cut. So that's definitely something that I need to work on. Now I've moved on. Since I was successful in potting the object ball from the center diamond, I'm going to be moving towards my left side here, and you'll see then that this particular cut very close to 45, but based on my calculation this is approximately 37.5 degree there or thereabout, and it's very close to the same potting angle or the same reference point of aiming, where I'm just aiming just a tad or a hair outside the circumference of the object ball. And because of the distance between the cue ball and the object ball, you'll find most times that the object ball tends to overcut or sometimes undercut, because of course, because I'm using a point of reference and I'm using fractional ball aiming, sometimes the calculations can be a little bit off. But of course, this is why we practice, this is why we do the drill, so that we can find the point of reference a lot easier. Now I was very successful in that particular pot, but then again, as you'll see on the replay, where because of my two previous misses, notice that that arm right there, the stable arm that keeps my cue in line, I drop it because I'm a little bit uncertain. So as I said before, this is something that I definitely want to work on, because it sends a message not only to myself but to my opponent that the pot may have been just a lucky pot. Now I am aiming here, but this time I'm doing a severe back cut towards the left pocket here, and this particular cut is very close to 60 degrees, give or take, if my calculations is right. It's about 52.5 degrees cut, and I mean, this is like a do or die shot. Most times you're never gonna find a professional trying to cut like this, but sometimes you really don't have an option, and sometimes it's really good to get a feel of what this kind of cut shot is like. And you can see consistently, because I'm so very unsure of the potting angle, I'm a little bit distracted by other players that are in the same pool hall that I'm practicing. There's a lot of persons that are surrounding the table watching me while I do this video. So it kind of spooked me a little bit in terms of my delivery. I was a little bit distracted, but of course there you'll see I was very successful in making that pot. So this is kind of something that you want to, just have your eye out for. It's not something you want to go on the table to practice, because most times you're never gonna have to make a pot like that unless it's extremely, or well, unless it's just really the only option that's available here. Now this particular shot that I'm doing is one of my favorite shots. Why? The reference point of aiming is easy to find, because this is exactly a 30-degree cut shot. Now if you guys have watched my previous tutorial, you would have learned that a 30-degree cut shot is in fact aiming the center of the cue ball just towards the edge, or just a hair inside the edge of the circumference of the object ball. Now I wasn't convinced in terms of the cue ball path, because of course not only am I potting the object ball, but I'm keeping a track I'm keeping a record of where my cue ball is going, so that of course if I have the pot and I need to play position, I still will have an idea of where my cue ball is going. Now again, of course, I had a few unsuccessful attempts, to which I'm showing you here, where of course after putting the first shot I wasn't convinced about my cue ball path. Took a few more attempts, I overcut, I undercut, but then on my fourth attempt right here, where I'll be cutting the shot cleanly, you'll see that I have somewhat of a consistency in terms of my cue ball path. Once again, you'll see in the replay here where I drop the arm that balances my cue, and that could also be considered as a factor to why my my cue ball didn't travel that correct path. That is definitely something that I need to work on, and of course, as I said before guys, that shows some level of uncertainty in terms of the pot. Let's move on now to an approximate cut angle of about 22.5 degrees, and you'll notice mathematically what I'm doing here. From the center diamond on the short rail, as I come around, my cut angle is being decreased by an approximate 7.5 degrees, and that's just what I do. I'm not 100% certain if the math on the cut angle is accurate, but whenever I use these particular cut angle or these numerical values, it gives me a point of reference for my aiming. And so from the first diamond there up from the corner pocket, I find that that angle is approximately 22.5 degrees. Now you'll see here where I move up another diamond, and this is almost a 15 degree cut shot. Subtracting 7.5 degrees from 22.5 degrees give me an approximate cut angle of 15 degrees. Now of course, I mean, I'm not a professional player. I am an intermediate level player, and you'll see that even during practice, which I could have edited out this part, but I have to show you that of course you can be very unsuccessful with these attempts. If you overcut, if you undercut, if there's a slight twist in your arm, if the delivery is not smooth, if you apply some unwanted side spin, if you're distracted in any way, shape or form by persons watching you during practice, you can of course miss this shot. And of course, this is sometimes some of the most crucial shots that you have to play, either to win a rack or to play position. So that's why practicing is super important. You're going to find out that players will probably say that they're never going to miss that shot, and I don't blame them. I will probably say the same thing until when you are actually in a match where the pressure is high and you literally miss a shot like that. I strongly recommend that you guys do not take these particular shots for granted. Now moving up another diamond here, this is approximately 7.5 degrees, and of course here with a smooth delivery you will get the pot cleanly. There again, there may have been some hint of unwanted side spin, may have been a little bit of forced in my delivery, but of course this is why we practice. It gives us a chance to kind of settle in, focus on our pre-shot routine after such an uncharacteristic miss, which I don't really miss these shots very often, but when you do, it's very important that you record that there may be some inconsistency in your stroke or in your delivery, maybe applying some unwanted side spin or a little bit force to your cue action. So that's definitely something that you want to make yourself aware of. All right, now moving now to what is called the straight in pot, 0 degrees here. I'm going to be trying to pot this object ball here with center high, center and stun. So for the first shot here, very straightforward, rolling the cue ball into the object ball. Nice delivery there, not too tough. Most players, if not every player, will be able to make that particular pot playing with follow. Now here's where it gets a little tricky, because now when you have to jack up, and you'll see that I kind of push my cue ball a little bit out, maybe like about a ball and a quarter. It's kind of a little bit difficult to bridge when you're aiming over the side pockets, or when you're aiming over a pocket instead. And here you'll see where I have to angle the cue ball a little bit in, and so just applying a bit of force. Well, in fact, that was a draw shot that was reasonably well executed, right? And nice delivery there, nice action on the cue ball, getting that cue ball to come back nicely. Now you'll see there on a slight magnified version of the shot where the cue ball kind of hopped into the object ball before I actually executed the shot. Now I tried to play that ball with center, and you'll see here where I missed that shot. As to how I would actually miss that shot in a real game, I'm not so certain that I would, but in practice there I actually missed that shot. Now simply correcting myself there, slowing down the speed of the delivery in the stroke, or slowing down the delivery of the stroke here, I was successful in making that putt. I didn't actually stop the cue ball. It had a little bit of draw, a hint of draw, but of course then again the delivery was a lot better in this case here. All right, so of course I have another video coming out, a part 2 to this, where I'll be coming up towards the short rail, so do look out for that video. But until then, guys, thank you so much for watching this particular video here. I do hope that you enjoyed it. I do hope that you learned something. Do not forget to smash the subscribe button below,